Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Find Your Positivity podcast. On this podcast, we state our daily affirmations and we set our focus of the day. Let's start your day on a positive note. Stay tuned to the end of the podcast for a channeled message for today. Welcome. Happy Monday. Today, our focus is going to be reflection. One thing I'm working towards, which will continue to be a work in progress for me, is reflection. As someone who is a great go-getter who loves to accomplish goals and continue to elevate, it's sometimes very, very hard to look back and see how far I've come. It sounds very simple, but at times it's hard to visualize the entire picture. I grew up in a very small town. I ended up going to college in a bigger city. Socially, I was very sheltered, so it was a struggle for me to interact on a social level. But I did make friends, and I just kind of ended up going into a phase of working. And I just became this person who worked multiple jobs. I was always busy. So as I continued to elevate in life, I never really even had time. I never gave myself that time to reflect on how far I had come financially, emotionally, spiritually. And as I've gotten older, I'm finally at a stage in life where I find that reflection is needed. You need to be able to be in a space where you can feel appreciation for how far you've come. And you can acknowledge the growth and you can acknowledge how much you've learned. This is important. With any heartbreak that you've endured, any setback, each person that's walked out of your life, that's came into your life, anything that you have let go of, all of that is part of growing. It's part of you elevating in life, because with each setback or each heartbreak or each loss or gain, there's wisdom that is gained. And even though in some of those moments when they're really rough, it's hard to acknowledge that, once you're in a better space, you can look back and say, oh, this is what I went through. This is what I learned from that situation. This is what I've accomplished. To reflect and compare your life at the age of 13 or even 18 or just 10 years ago for whoever's watching this, compare it to now. How have you transformed? Think about the different chapters that you have went through in your current chapter. Think about that. Where were you 10 years ago? Where were you 5 years ago? We should always focus on growth and being aware and celebrating how far we have come. Let's state our affirmations for reflection. I am reflecting on my past and seeing the growth. I am reflecting on my decisions and seeing the expansion. I am reflecting on the knowledge gained and seeing the revelations. I am reflecting on my true purpose and stepping into my power. I am reflecting on my cycles of growth and seeing my soul's journey. I am reflecting on self-love and filling my life with unconditional love. I am reflecting on my dreams and aspirations and finding my inspiration. I am reflecting on God's vision for me and accepting it. This life is about the journey. This life is about growing and learning. Your mindset, your choices, your thoughts, all have continued to grow and elevate. Where were you 5 years ago? What were you thinking 5 years ago? What was your mindset? Even though you may not see it, a transformation has taken place. You have made it. You have grown and continued to seek growth each day. With every heartbreak, every job loss, every person lost, and every person gained, it's growth. You are learning every step of the way. If you made it this far in the podcast, thank you. Don't forget to come back Monday through Friday for episodes. And follow the YouTube at Purely Danielle and check out the Patreon. Today's channeled message comes from The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. I'm reading from page 173. It reads, "Fortunately, deep within us, there's a direct connection to the divine. There is a part of our being that is beyond the personal self. You can consciously choose to identify with that part, rather than with the psyche or the body. When you do this, a natural transformation begins to take place within you. Over time, as you observe this transformation, you will see what it's like to be coming toward God. You actually begin to know what it feels like to be moving in the direction of spirit. The changes you see within you are reflective of the force you're approaching. Just as rain makes you wet and fire makes you warm, so you can know the nature of God by looking into the mirror of your transformed self. This is not a philosophy. It is a direct experience." When we begin to reflect more, you can actively see your transformation taking place. Similar to weight loss, for me, personally, I did not see where the weight was coming off until I was able to reflect on how far I'd come, how much weight I'd lost, how my body had transformed. When you begin to acknowledge your transformations, your growth, what you've been learning, then it becomes more obvious to us. We should take time to reflect on our past and compare it to our present. How far have you grown? What have you accomplished? Come back each day for affirmations and intention settings. New episodes are posted Monday through Friday. Again, be sure to check out the YouTube at Purely Danielle or check out the Patreon. If you'd like to donate, everything will be in the description box. Thank you.